Hello, 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 and welcome. This is Alert Wolf here, going to bring you another review. This one is of Sword Art Online, and this one's episode 23. This one's called Bonds. All right, let me start right out. This episode starts out right where the emotional stuff left off on the last episode, with Leafa yelling at Kirito in the real world. And again, I'm mainly just going to use their game names. It's easier. It's the ones that get used more often. But basically, you know, he, he feels bad. He feels bad that his cousin sister there is in pain. And he thinks back to the reason why he became distant from her is when he found out the truth about his lineage, and he really, you know, when he woke up from Sword Art Online and he saw how she was there for him and she was crying, he really wanted to make that up to her. And he was something he learned in the game, that it doesn't matter if you're real or fake. All that matters is that you're together in the moment and whatnot. So that's why he was nice to his sister, but he ended up hurting her more. So he tells her to meet him in the game, and he'll wait for her there. So she logs in. She logs in right, and she's crying. She logs in. She logs in right where, um, the the entrance to the big boss battle is, and she's crying. And Recon, or Recon, he looks like Recon, but Recon, gets there and he finds her, and she's like, "Wait a minute, I thought you were captured." He's like, "Yeah, I poisoned them all." She's like, "What?" And then he tries to cheer her up because he sees she's sad, and he asks what happens to Kirito, and she's like, "I said something stupid to him, so don't worry, we won't be seeing him again." Um, and then she's like, he's like, he on the steps, he's like, "I don't like to see you sad." He's like, "I love you," or whatever. He confesses his undying love. He tries to kiss her. She punches him in the gut down the flight of stairs and then apologizes for it. He's like, "Ah, I thought my biggest obstacle would be telling you how I felt, or asking you out." And she's like, "You're such an idiot, but I could learn a lot from you." And he does succeed in cheering her up. She laughs, and then she goes to meet up with Kirito. She wants a fight to finish their duel they had in the real world. So they, earlier in the series, so they fight, and it's a good battle. And then at the last swing, both of them end up dropping their swords. And she's like, and he ends up hugging her, and she's like, "Why?" And he said, "Why?" And basically, he's like, she wanted, to lose because she was feeling sad, and he's like, "I was so mean to you. I thought you deserved a free shot." So basically, they hugged it out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta hug it out. Sometimes you get into a fight with a chick or a dude, and it's emotional, and sometimes you just gotta to hug it out. And that's what happened. They hugged it out. So, excuse me. So they meet up with Recon at the base. She explains that the three of them are gonna go in and do this big boss fight. And Recon's like, "What? This is crazy. All right, we're doing this." So they go inside and they start fighting. Yui says that maybe with his speed he should be able to break through the horde. And all it is, they're weak guys, but it's an enemy horde, you know. And now we get into the fight. Now the fighting is awesome. Kirito starts hacking and slashing his way through. Leaf and Recon start using support magic to heal him. But then something different happens in this. They start attacking the people who do the support magic. And that's different because in the game they don't get attacked. So they're like, "Oh, these bosses are on a different algorithm." And Leaf is about to get into it, and Recon's like, "Tell me, why are you fighting? Is this important to you?" And she's like, "Yeah, I have a feeling this is real. This isn't a game anymore." You know, he's like, "Then let me do it." And he starts going. Apparently, this little character dude is a sick magic user, and he starts using magic, and he has his epic badass moment. And she's like, what are you doing? And he's just like magically ripping them to shreds. And then he's like, I'll buy you that opening. And he starts chanting. And I haven't seen something like this since Vegeta. He goes in, she's like, this is dark magic. He's like, bah, 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 and he self-destructs in a huge circular explosion, killing himself. And I gotta say, man, I didn't have any respect for this character until this episode. Well, actually, you know what? I had some respect, for the character, because he did find out about the whole enemy attack thing, the whole plot thing, and he has been useful, but he's basically sniveling slightly, but he does what he can, and this was as epic as like, well, it's not. It's similar to when Majin Vegeta went like supernova on us in Dragon Ball Z. So I freaking or blew up. I freaking loved it. And then she's like, it's self-destruction magic has a heavy penalty, and you see his flame had, it was like a green flame, but then there were purple spots in it, and she held the flame, and it looks like they were about to lose. It looks like they're done when all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Sylphs show up, and or Sylphs, yeah, they show up, and he's like, what are they doing here? And then we get dragons, baby. Dragons. And all of a sudden, and the Catsifs people came too, and they're dragon riders. And now it's a battle because the two heads of the races, the guilds there, they re-met to back up Kirito. And she's like, yeah, we funded it with all the money you got us. Sorry, it took us a while to get all the equipment. So now they're backing him up on his run at the World Tree, and it's epic. It's just crazy. Dragons. I mean, they're still fighting hard, and it's a battle. It's really cool. And then we get like, here, it's not enough. And I'm gonna tell you something. I literally yelled at the screen, "Give him a sword, damn it! He needs two swords, dual wield at this point." And then right then, Leafa is like, Nissan, and she throws the freaking, she throws her sword at him, and he gets it. When he gets it, it's infused with her power and his power, and like in Megaman X, he goes a supernova attack, a nova attack, and he just puts the swords together and rushes right through all of the horde and breaks through, and everybody's like, go, you can do it, and they're holding them off, and he breaks through the enemy horde and gets to the gate. At this point, everybody else is like, all right, we got to get the hell out of here, we're gonna get killed. So they're forming a retreat. So then you're like, it flashes and you think he's gonna get in. He's like, how come this isn't opening? And Yui's like, this door is a fake door. The game, it's been locked. It was never designed to be open. It was a fake door by the game administrators. So these sons of bitches, right now, I know that he's the villain of this half of the season. I get that, but come on, they sealed the entrance with like a barrier in the air, and you're gonna tell me the gate that in order the whole purpose of this crappy game is to get through this one gate, and it was never meant to be open, you cheating fucks. Ooh, that makes me mad as a gamer. That would piss me off. I would be furious. I mean, sure, had I been doing what Kirito's been doing, I'd have had bigger concerns. But if I wasn't and it was just playing the game, imagine that. You take a whole bunch of people, you take hours and hundreds of hours of your life to get to this point in the game, to be the first one, and to find out the door is rigged, and it's not meant to be open, it's just a freaking wall. Oh, that would piss me off. So then, I digress. But then, Kirito remembers that Asuna had dropped that card from the access card. Yui downloads the access codes from the card, and then hacks the door, and they teleport through it, and there you go. That is the episode. And all right, I as you can tell, I really enjoyed this episode. I'm gonna give it a 4. It wasn't as good as last week's episode, but it was really close. So 4.5. I won't give it a 5. I'll say it's a 4. We had dragons, again, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. The first half of the season had more despair to it. Um, had more of an everyday. It was richer. I'm gonna say the first half of Sword Art Online, when they were actually in that game, was richer, and the stakes were higher because you died for real, and there were good fights, and it was just a rich. It felt like a more rich experience. However, this half of Sword Art Online, Elfin Online, right? Uh, it's not that the story doesn't feel as broad, okay, and it doesn't feel as rich. But I will say this: even though they all look like Link, and you know what, I'm fine with them looking like fairies, or they're fairies, but I'm fine with them looking like elves. I'm cool with that they look like Link, you know. But it's not as rich, but they ke- they kept the suspense going with uh when they're gonna figure out if they know each other. They the battles are better. They're just more epic, which is funny because I thought the boss battles in the first half of the series were amazing, and they are. But these battles, some of them, they've just been getting better. And because I guess Kirito as a character has been getting better, so I'm liking it. So for all you people out there who are worried that this show was gonna go pansy on us, you know, it hasn't. You know, in this episode, we got to see dragons. In another episode, Kirito cut some dude in half. You know, Kirito lost in the last episode. He turned into the demon from which is funny because he looks like the demon that he fought as the first master of the game. In Sword Art Online, I believe it's the first master, the first boss. And he turned into that guy, and he started chomping on things. So I don't know. I mean, the only difference is they're not dying for real, but the fights are awesome. So that being said, uh, can't wait for next week's episode. It's going to be called Gilded Cage, or no, not Gilded Cage, Gilded Hero. Excuse me. All right, so that's it from me. So click it up if you like it, comment if you must, subscribe if you can, and this is Alert Wolf signing off.